What's up, YouTube? Monarch Synchro here, bringing you a new video. This time I'm doing it on a new deck for the September 1st, 2011 ban list, and it's Gravekeepers. I personally think this is going to be one of the best decks for the format, at least at the beginning, just because it's pretty much a cookie cutter deck. It's pretty simple to use, and it addresses a lot of issues and that I think is going to be at the beginning of the format, because Lightsworn and Twilight are being like really overhyped at the moment, just because of Blackluster Soldier, Tragodia, and Necrogarna pretty much bringing those cards back. To be honest, Gravekeepers pretty much handle Twilight pretty easily in my opinion, unless they can get rid of Necro Valley. And I know that Necro Valley's at 3, not Necro Valley's at 3, MST's at 3, so that kind of makes it bad for Necro Valley, but at the same time it's all about protecting it. So I got a couple proxies here, but let me get into the deck list real quick. This is supposed to be a Malefic Stardust Dragon, so as you know, Malefic Stardust Dragon does not let field spells die. So with Giant Trune being banned now, which was the only really card that hurt this, because when this was off the field, that would die. But now because of MST and Heavy Storm being back, this protects that. And since this cannot be destroyed, that cannot be destroyed either. So that's a plus in my opinion. So you got the Assailant. Pretty much all of this is cookie cutter. This is like always going to be the same. For the traps, this is where it varies a little bit. This is supposed to be a Mind Crush, but I think Mind Crush is going to be huge this format. Just because of Duality being reprinted, people are going to want to like run that in everything. Even in Twilight Lightsworn, just to make it more consistent, because the deck is always had troubles being consistent. So they're going to try to splash it in that. And since that deck can afford to take a couple hits directly, they can set up pretty easily. So I expect Mind Crush to be so good. And at the same time, like what I thought is Royal Tribute. It's such a good card. It's so broken against Lightsworn because of the fact that they run so many monsters, and you can potentially hit the whole hand. And if not, if let's say you hit like 2 or 3 cards, and let's say you're afraid of like a Heavy Storm, right? If you open up with this and the Royal Tribute play, what you can do is set your whole back row, even though you might not have like a Starlight Road, for example. Like if you're fearing the heavy, it doesn't matter, because if you're gonna Royal Tribute them, you're gonna get free information on their hand. And if you see that they have Heavy Storm, when they draw, you can just go Mind Crush Heavy Storm and pretty much protect your other 2 back row, for example. And now your opponent has to deal with like a Solemn Warning or a Deep Prison, and they're only gonna have like 2 cards in the hand, for example. So I mean, Mind Crush is gonna be really good. Like I said, also because of Duality, and maybe because a lot of searching is gonna go down, and also for the simple fact that if they go Beckoning Light and they go Judgment Dragon, and like a Luster Soldier or something, you can just go Mind Crush Judgment Dragon, and pretty much like they're left with just 1 soldier. And like if you have this out, they can't bring it out, because they can't remove cards from play from their graveyard. So Necro Valley stops that. That's why I think Gravekeepers are gonna be a really good matchup against Lightsworn and Twilight. So 2 Deep Prisons, 2 Warnings, Torrential Mirror Force, and a Compulse. If you'll see that I'm not running Solemn Judgment, I was running 7 tools. I took that out. I mean, with triple MST and Heavy Storm, I feel like you don't really need a 7 tools. It's pretty much useless now. And Solemn Judgment's, like, to be honest, Solemn Judgment has never really been good when Heavy Storm's out, just because you're forced to Solemn Judgment a Heavy Storm sometimes, and you just lose faster. And not to mention that we're gonna be playing in an OTK format, and Solemn Judgment's not gonna do anything but make you lose faster. So that's why I just took it out. I just figured it's not worth running, like, in my opinion. So you need more chainable cards. Compulse, depending on how this deck build tests out, I might up the count on Compulse. I'm not sure though. But yeah, that's the traps. This is supposed to be a proxy for Duality. This deck needs Duality. Like, it cannot function without it, unfortunately, because without it, it's just really slow. you can't get your Necro Valley Royal Tribute plays off consistently, and if you don't and your opponent just goes off, you pretty much lose. It's just like any other anti-meta deck in my opinion. If it loses control, it's really hard to get it back. Triple Necro Valley, kind of standard in my opinion. Triple MST, some people are like thinking it might be a little overkill to run 3, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, I just think it's necessary, like especially for a deck like this, because like it kind of hurts when you get hit with a warning, like when you flip a spy, because that messes up your play. Or when you have like this and you summon that and you get warning with this, then this guy's just pretty much just sitting there is gonna get killed. So it's pretty good when you hit like, also Royal Decrees. I think Lightsworn might be running Royal Decree, I'm not too sure, but Royal Decree can hurt this deck a little bit, so that's why like the ability to chain MST is gonna be pretty good. Also, because of Call of the Haunted being at 2, you need to save your MSTs, because if they have like a Sangan or something chilling in the graveyard, and you just go randomly, oh MST, and then they go chain Call of the Haunted, they get back their Sangan, so they get a +1 off of that. So you need to make sure that you save it, so that when they go Call of the Haunted and they target the Sangan, you can chain MST and destroy the Call of the Haunted before they get the Sangan. So I think the MST is going to be pretty good, but like I said, depending on how the testing goes, I might take one out and put something more defensive like a Book of Moon or something, which is also one of the cards that I'm not running. If you see right here, I think Book of Moon is good, but it's not as good anymore because plants are pretty much kind of dead. There's not a lot of synchroing that I think is going to be going down. It's more of OTK, OTK. So Book of Moon's only going to stop one card, and it's a -1. So, I mean, it's okay, but I think, in my opinion, in this build, you don't really need Book of Moon. So this is pretty much standard that. I don't like 3. It kind of creates a lot of inconsistency, and with Duality, you can get this easier, so it's fine. Heavy Storm, it's going to be a staple. Some people are going to choose not to run it because they don't want to get hit by this. But in my opinion, you just need to run it. Sometimes it might be good to side it out, obviously against the decks that don't run that many traps, but other than that, Heavy Storm's just gonna punish those bad players that set 3-4 cards and thinking that you might not have it, and when you do, they're gonna like pretty much cry when you hit them with this, because it's gonna be pretty much GG after that. Dark Hole is gonna be a staple, and Allure of Darkness, just because everything in this deck is dark. And I mean, if Duality doesn't get you what you want, you can always go Allure and pretty much get the last piece that you need for this, because this is obviously the easiest card to get. This is the one that's the hardest to get, so you need to make sure that you get this with Duality or Allure of Darkness. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. As for the Synchro deck, it's pretty much what you want. The only thing that I recommend is probably running at least 2 Stardust, just because you need to remove one with Malefic Stardust, and you need to get one out with this. But in my opinion, in the side deck, for example, depending on what you're playing, I mean, against, if it's gonna be Lightstorm, you might want to side in another Starlight Road. So you might want to have at least 3 Stardust in the extra deck, just because this deck can use them. I mean, you don't really synchro, and probably like 1 or 2 Utopias, maybe one of the Granosaurus. Just so you can maybe exceed into these 2 and be able to get over a Thunder King. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be probably posting more decks as soon as I play test more, thinking of what's gonna be good. But for now, I think this is gonna be what counters Twilight and Lightsworn pretty good at the beginning of the format, and it also has a pretty good matchup against GBs, which people tend to go for at the beginning of every format because they don't know what's good. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Tell me, guys, what you guys think about the deck, and what you guys think is gonna be good for the next format. So yeah, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.